And this week, here's how to leave a good impression at your kid's parents' evening. Dress in your work clothes. If you're a nurse, wear your nurse outfit. If you're a mechanic, come in your blue overalls. Maybe leave a few buttons undone though, so you come across as relaxed, and maybe a little bit flirty. But relaxed is the main thing, you are going to a school. It's important for your child's teachers to know that their parents have jobs and work for a living. Ask all the other parents if they want to come over for a drink when they've finished with the teachers' meetings. Whether it's to celebrate or commiserate the information shared by the failure in a tie across the table, or just to shoot the shit. Lean towards the other parents though as you say this, so they know you're serious about it. If the teacher gives you good news, slip them a box of menthol cigs. A 10 box at that, and tell them, I got loads, and they can keep coming, whilst winking at them before looking around the room, puffing up your chest to assert dominance over the other parents. Pull a couple of teachers aside, or slip them a letter in an envelope that tells them your child is being bullied. That way now, your kid is now on their radar, whereas, beforehand, they might not have been paying on them all that much attention. Teacher knows who your kid is. They're bound to do better in life. It's important to a child to feel like they're the centre of the universe. Rehearse a few anecdotes in the car out loud to yourself on the way to the school, and if any teacher tells you some less than favourable news or opinions about your child, or the marks that your kid's receiving and what you'd expect, then recite your anecdote after telling the teacher, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And be sure to really drive it home that Tigbiddy Dave is always going to look out for your son, because yous were like brothers when his mum was ill in the hospital. If you have a name that gets mispronounced, purposely mispronounce your name so that your child looks like an attention seeker. Then, when the teacher says, Oh, Gary says it's pronounced Smythe, say, I think I know how to pronounce my own name, sweetheart. He's just embarrassed because of the news that came out last year. This makes it seem like your kid is switched on to current affairs, but that you're level-headed enough to know that whether it is or isn't, it's not really relevant. This will make the teacher think that the kid has a very intelligent parent. As you approach the table, tell the member of staff that they smell nice. Then, reaffirm as you're walking away from the table. You smell lovely. The teacher will think, what a lovely, generous person, because you're so frivolous with the compliments. Remember not to blink, though, while you're telling them this, so it comes across as more sincere. And speaking of generosity, have a bag of crisps in your pocket and offer the teacher and any adjacent parents a crisp as well. This shows the staff that your child is being taught how to make connections inside and outside of school. Recite some of your old poetry to the teachers so that they know the kid isn't just watching television at home. And finally, if your child is falling behind and one of the parents couldn't make it to the evening, use this as a form of leverage. Tell the teacher that your parent or co-parent or whatever the fuck the other person is to you is actually seriously ill and has been for a number of months now, maybe even close to a year. And that you're just impressed that Jessie is still coming to school, because if you were in her shoes, you'd probably have started skiving school years ago. Now, the teacher now thinks you're at breaking point, but somehow holding it all together, meaning they might go a little bit easier now on little Jessie, now that they think the parent could be dying from a mysterious illness. And that's the end of this week's Here's How.